Okay, think I'm recording. Yep. All right. Hey, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been using my GoPro on my bike, which, as you'll notice, is not the same. I'm not on my Buell. I'm not on my Suzuki. I'm on my new bike. Well, it's new to me, anyways. It's a 2010 Vfr1200f. Just move my mic a little bit. It was, I had moved from the place where I worked in Aventura. Well, anyways, that shop now has been taken over, and I was moved over here to Tamarack. So I've had to ride roughly 20 miles on the highway in traffic, and my Buell and my Suzuki M109R was just really not designed to do very well in that kind of circumstance. And I wanted to get a sport bike, but I wanted something that's a little bit more comfortable than say a Vfr1200 or R. And here we are. I got this bike now. So far, I'm absolutely loving it. I can tell you that when I first test rode this bike, I was going to either get the ZX14R or this bike, and I kind of looked at the Hayabusa, but the Hayabusa sitting position was pretty much almost like to me anyways, it was almost like the Vfr1200, although it's a bigger bike. It's a little bit more plush, but I mean, you're really pretty low down on the handlebars on that bike. The ZX14, not so bad. Anyways, it came down to the ZX14R and the Vfr1200f. I know it sounds kind of funny that they could even be in competition with each other, but they were for me in my mind. I know the ZX14R is one of the fastest motorcycles on the planet, with the exception of two other Kawasaki's, and also maybe the BMW S1000R, and then also maybe the Ducati Panigale 1299, 1298, I forget what number it is. But this bike was used, so I got it considerably less than what a new ZX14R would cost. I probably would have almost bought that bike, but I just don't like their paint schemes on that bike. You know, basically green or matte black. I know probably younger people might like that matte black style, and I'm not against it. It's just that I personally wouldn't own anything with that kind of paint scheme. It just doesn't turn me on that much. When I was a kid, I kind of liked that kind of stuff. Like, it was still not cooler than a real paint job, though. It was, you know, pretty cool. So anyways, absolutely loving this bike. It's got some power to it. It's not as flickable as the Buell, but it seems more balanced. It's not as good as like this stuff right here. The Buell will just kick its ass in this kind of stuff without fear because of its lightness and its flickability. Thank you. But this thing is really comfortable, and it's not it's more sport oriented than say an FJ1300 or a Kawasaki Concours, which I kind of like those bikes too. I guess it kind of shows my age, but I really kind of like those bikes too. But this thing is faster than those bikes, and it's lighter than those bikes, and it's more sport oriented than those bikes, but it's not as sport oriented as say a Hayabusa or a ZX14. But I gotta tell you, man, I went out last night with Jack on his CBR1000, and man, this thing could definitely keep up with him. I definitely didn't feel like I was outclassed. There's some top end times, you know, when you're talking about straight top end, then he's got the edge. But anything at normal speeds, there's just this bike is phenomenal, and that's really a huge plus for me. Of course, I would love to just kick Jack's butt, you know, at some you know, top end speeds, but it's not like I'm riding with him every day or anything. I got to look at what I'm gonna like on a daily basis, and you know, I really enjoy taking this thing out on the turnpike. The difference between this bike and my Buell and the Suzuki M109, it's super comfortable on the highway, and you don't have to really downshift if you need to pass anything at all. Just got, you know, a lot of grunt down low, and I think I made a good choice with this bike. I'm really happy with it, and I've only had it for like this is like my third day, I think. Second or third day I've had this bike, and I've already put, I don't know, like 200 miles on it, and they say this bike is heavy, like 600 pounds, but it doesn't feel that heavy. It only, you know, the only time it feels heavy, and it doesn't even really feel that heavy, but you could tell it's not like exactly like the Buell or the CBR, is when you're kind of moving it around in the garage or the parking lot. It just feels a little bit heavier, but I mean, I lug around a 761 pound Suzuki M109, and I'm kind of used to it, but this is nothing like that. This seems much lighter than that bike. Low speed maneuverability is really good. I haven't had the courage yet to try it at higher speeds around cornering, but I stayed up with Jack pretty much behind him, trying to keep pace with him, and I don't think he really outpaced me, but I don't think he was really trying super hard either. Just really comfortable, and the thing about like this bike is, you know, there's like, you feel like pressure with the Buell or the Suzuki to get everybody out of everybody's way, whereas this one, you can just cruise with the rest of the traffic, and the brakes are phenomenal. Oh, look at this poor guy over here. I almost think it's a little better.